The boxing world is buzzing with anticipation as Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. prepare for their highly anticipated rematch, a fight that promises to be a defining moment for both fighters. Their first encounter on March 1st ended in a controversial majority draw, leaving fans, analysts, and the fighters themselves eager for a resolution. The face-off that followed their initial bout was charged with animosity, a reflection of the unresolved tension from that night. Both men, hailing from the DMV area, brought their best to the ring, showcasing the kind of skill and heart that has made this rivalry one of the most compelling in recent boxing history. As they gear up for their second showdown, the stakes are higher than ever, with each fighter determined to prove their dominance and settle the score once and for all. The first fight between Davis and Roach was a spectacle that left the boxing community divided. Held at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, the bout was expected to be another dominant performance by Davis, a five-time, three-division world champion known for his devastating knockout power. With 28 knockouts in his 30 professional fights, Davis entered the ring as the heavy favorite, a fighter who had rarely been tested and had only gone the distance twice in his career. Roach, on the other hand, was seen as the underdog, a skilled but smaller fighter who held a title but was thought to be outmatched by Davis's power and reputation. Yet, Roach defied expectations, delivering a performance that stunned fans and shook Davis's camp to its core. From the opening bell, Roach showcased his technical prowess, boxing beautifully from the outside with a sharp jab and clever footwork. When Davis closed the distance, forcing Roach to fight in the pocket, Roach adapted seamlessly, trading blows with the knockout artist and proving he could withstand Davis's power. The fight was a back-and-forth battle, with both men landing significant shots and displaying high-level ring IQ. Roach's durability was a standout factor, his ability to absorb Davis's best punches that had floored so many others, earned him respect and raised questions about Davis's invincibility. By the time the final bell rang, the crowd was on its feet, having witnessed 36 minutes of intense, high-level boxing. But when the judges' scorecards were read, the result was a majority draw, a decision that left both teams frustrated and sparked heated debates among fans. For Davis, the draw was a blemish on an otherwise perfect record, the first time he had left the ring without a victory. His team, led by trainer Barry Hunter, believed they had done enough to secure the win, particularly in the final rounds, where they felt Davis pulled ahead. Hunter, who took on a more prominent role in Davis's corner for this fight, insisted that the judges had robbed them of a clear victory. He acknowledged Roach's skill, noting that the fight was always going to be tough given their shared history and the talent pool in the DMV area, but maintained that Davis had sealed the deal down the stretch. Davis himself was candid about the result, admitting he lost track of the rounds and could have done more. The draw stung, but it also lit a fire under him, prompting a promise to return to the gym after just a week of rest to prepare for the rematch. Roach, however, felt cheated in a different way. Many in his camp and among his supporters believe he deserved the win, arguing that the draw was the result of biased officiating by the judges, referee, World Boxing Association, and New York State Athletic Commission. They point to moments in the fight where Roach outboxed Davis, landing clean combinations and frustrating the favorite with his movement and resilience. Roach's performance was a statement, not just to Davis but to the boxing world, that he was more than just a stepping stone. He had taken Davis's best shots, including a hook that rocked him, and responded with his own, catching Davis with a hook that reminded everyone of his own power. For Roach, the draw was a theft of what should have been the biggest win of his career, and he's coming into the rematch with a chip on his shoulder, determined to prove he's the better man. The face-off for the rematch was a microcosm of the tension between the two fighters. Both men stared each other down with intensity, their words dripping with confidence and defiance. Davis, known for his brash demeanor, promised to deliver a knockout in the 9th round, vowing to chop, bob, and weave his way to a decisive victory. He spoke of proving doubters wrong, a nod to the critics who questioned his choice of opponent and his ability to dominate as he had in the past. Roach, unfazed, responded with equal conviction, dismissing Davis's talk of knockouts and emphasizing his own resilience. "I've hurt everybody I've been in the ring with, and this won't be any different," he declared, confident that his warrior chin and adaptable style would again frustrate Davis. The exchange set the tone for what promises to be an explosive rematch, with both fighters carrying the weight of their reputations and the unresolved outcome of their first meeting. The rematch, tentatively slated for June 21st in Las Vegas, has sparked intense debate among fans and analysts. Social media platforms, particularly X, have been abuzz with predictions and opinions. Some fans, like one who posted photos from the first fight with the caption "Roach is beating that guy again, mate," believe Roach has Davis's number and will repeat his performance. Others, pointing to Davis's knockout pedigree, argue that he'll make the necessary adjustments to secure a stoppage. One fan wrote, "I thought Roach won the first fight 115 to 113, but I think Tank will make adjustments and win the rematch." Another predicted a late knockout, citing Davis's ability to adapt and his hunger to erase the draw from his record. The divide in opinions reflects the closeness of the first fight and the intrigue surrounding how each fighter will approach the second. What makes this rematch so compelling is the stylistic matchup between the two. Davis, at his best, is a devastating puncher with deceptive speed and a knack for finding openings. His ability to end fights with a single shot has made him one of the most feared fighters in the sport. But Roach proved in their first encounter that he's not like Davis's previous opponents. His technical skill, adaptability, and iron chin allowed him to stand toe-to-toe with Davis, even thriving in the pocket where Davis typically dominates. Roach's ability to stay calm under pressure and counter effectively disrupted Davis's rhythm, forcing him to fight on the back foot at times. The question for the rematch is whether Davis can rediscover the knockout artist within him or if Roach's durability and ring savvy will again neutralize his power. For Davis, the rematch is about redemption. The draw was a wake-up call, a reminder that even a fighter of his caliber can't afford to overlook an opponent. After the fight, he admitted to being caught off guard by Roach's skill, acknowledging that he underestimated the smaller man. Davis's camp has emphasized that he's taking this fight more seriously than ever, returning to the gym quickly to refine his strategy. Trainer Barry Hunter has stressed the need for adjustments, particularly in capitalizing on opportunities inside, where Davis failed to fully exploit Roach's positioning in the first fight. Davis's promise of a ninth-round knockout suggests he's banking on his power to make the difference, but he may need to rely more on his boxing ability to outpoint Roach, who proved he can go the distance. Roach, meanwhile, sees the rematch as an opportunity to cement his legacy. He believes he was robbed of a victory in the first fight and is determined to leave no doubt this time. His training camp has focused on pushing his limits, recognizing that he'll need to be even sharper to avoid another controversial decision. Roach's confidence stems from his performance in the first fight, where he felt he fought the best version of Davis and still came away with a draw. He's aware of Davis's power but remains unfazed, pointing to his ability to take punches and keep coming forward. Roach's game plan will likely involve staying in the pocket, where he can counter Davis's aggression and land his own shots, particularly his hook, which troubled Davis in their first meeting. The rematch also carries the potential for a trilogy, a rare prospect for Davis, who has never fought a rematch in his professional career. The closeness of the first fight and the unresolved questions it left behind make a third fight a tantalizing possibility, especially if the rematch is as competitive as the first. Both fighters have a history that dates back to their amateur days, giving them a familiarity that adds layers to their rivalry. They know each other's tendencies, strengths, and weaknesses, which makes the strategic chess match all the more intriguing. For fans, the prospect of a trilogy is exciting, as it could solidify this matchup as one of the defining rivalries of the era. The DMV area, where both fighters hail from, adds another layer of pride to the fight. The region is known for producing tough, talented boxers, and neither Davis nor Roach wants to let their community down. The support of local figures like Gary Russell Jr., who is also on the card, underscores the sense of camaraderie and competition that defines the area's boxing scene. For Davis, a win would reinforce his status as the face of DMV boxing, while for Roach, a victory would elevate him to new heights and prove he belongs among the elite. As the rematch approaches, the boxing world is bracing for another war. Davis's knockout power and Roach's resilience make for a clash of styles that could produce a classic. Whether Davis can fulfill his promise of a ninth-round knockout or Roach can pull off the upset and hand Davis his first loss remains to be seen. What's certain is that both men are coming to prove a point, fueled by the bitterness of the first fight and the desire to leave no doubt about who the better fighter is. Fans will be watching closely, knowing that this rematch could not only settle the score but also set the stage for a historic trilogy in the sport of boxing.